The first card you have, you past, is the Eight of Cups. Okay, so obviously this is about leaving an emotional situation with this big wall of cups here. I'm actually getting this is probably going to sound a bit strange, but I'm getting sweetness and then it turns sour. So it's like sweet and sour. And, sometimes I see this man, he's walking around this hill and then he comes back around again. So I think this is about a love connection. And it feels like it was really sweet in the beginning. Things were sweet, maybe innocent as well. That's the feeling I'm getting, lots of innocence here. Maybe even some immaturity, which comes with innocence sometimes. I'm just looking at this moon's face, and it looks a bit like a teacher who's caught you doing something naughty at school. He looks at you like that. So, not that ever happened to me, of course. And maybe it was at school. Maybe this was at school when you first knew them. Because I keep on getting this feeling of innocence. It doesn't have to be that, but it might be that. It was like I knew them all those years ago and then they came back again a second time. That's what I'm seeing. Leaving, coming back around again. So yeah, it looks like you left or they did, and then maybe you reconnected again. And because I'm getting this sweet and sour, it might be that the second time around, it just wasn't right. It didn't work. It turned sour for you. And, of course, you're both different the second time around as well. People change. There are a lot of different reasons why it might not have worked. But I am picking up on quite a nasty streak in them, actually. So I'm getting that as well. There's a lot of regret in this as well. When you've got this moonlight and you've got this dark, heavy feeling, that can be about regret, heaviness, looking back on things, not being very happy about what happened. So yeah, I'm getting this feeling of, it kind of feels like, oh, I should have just left it. I should have left it alone. So if this is you, if this is making sense to you, I think your memories of this person probably would have stayed a bit more innocent, a bit more positive if you hadn't have come back together again this second time. So, there's a lot of heartbreak around this. I can see that. You might still be recovering from that. And it looks like some kind of big expectation that, because you had this history together, that you'd go far into the future together as well. And I think when that didn't happen, it wasn't just a relationship break. It was more like, oh, this big expectation, the love of my life. I knew them years ago. They've come back again. And, so there was a huge disappointment, I think, to you when that didn't happen. So, don't regret this if this is you. Don't regret things, because I think if you hadn't have gone back, I think you probably always would have wondered, oh, what would have been like if I had have, been with them again? What would have been like looking back on your life and thinking, oh, maybe I should have got back together. And, and the other thing is people constantly change and evolve. And so, you've both changed in that time and you've learned a lot from that as well. You're probably a lot more cautious than you used to be, a lot more on alert. But that'll probably mellow out in time, I think. You're always like that when you've had some kind of really difficult breakup like this. So that's what I'm seeing there. So yeah, the next card you have, you pass the Seven of Swords. So yeah, I was seeing this nasty streak, and here it is again. This is really interesting, actually. If this is all resonating with you, it actually feels like you're more open and ready for them to come back in again because of who they were, and because you had this shared history with them. If it was anyone else, I think they'd have to break through a lot more barriers to get close to you than this person did. And, I don't know where you are in this healing process, but they weren't the right person for you. I'm getting that quite strongly here. And yeah, it feels like they knew they could easily get through a barrier with you and maybe not have to try too hard because of that shared history you had. It's almost like they were thinking something like, oh, I'm already halfway there. They know me. There's trust there already. And I'm not blaming anyone. You both should have started right at the start again, because you're both probably very different people. I think you were. But I do think that sense of familiarity, and it looks like it was a false sense of familiarity, because When you've got the Seven of Swords, obviously this is about someone who's not trustworthy. But look at this tent on the right-hand side of this man. It's open, it's completely open. And that's how they saw you, open and ready, and that they didn't have to do much to convince you to be with them again. So I can see why you're closed off now, because I think you're opened because you thought you had a sense of who they were. You thought you knew them, but it wasn't who they were. You didn't know them. And I think if you're single now, it's just going to take some time to build your life up again and build your trust up again, to trust yourself again, to choose a better person, I think. And that's what the Ten of Pentacles is about. So I'll talk about that here as well. I think you're concentrating a lot, or you were at this time, on work and on things that you feel as if you can control, material things, tangible things, things that can be measured. I think you're concentrating on your own personal goals, and I think to be able to reach some of these goals, you need to build up your finances as well, so you're doing that as well. You might have lost out financially in some way while you're with this person, but so I think a part of you was doing that, and you're getting closer to this goal, but you're also sheltering yourself, you're protecting yourself from being hurt in love again, and that's what building this up was about again. Because if you look at this card, all these coins are making a barrier between us and the couple in the middle. So that's where your focus was. It was on the coins. It was on the building up of yourself financially and in other ways. It wasn't on the love. And that was a form of protection for you. It was a way of protecting yourself from, hurting yourself again. So I hope that makes sense. That's what I'm seeing there. Okay, so the first card, did I move the table? I hope not. The first card you have your present is the Eight of Wands. I just moved my chair, so hopefully I didn't want the table. Okay, so just before I say anything about this card, there's also a lot of determination here. I'm getting it all over this reading. Determination to build yourself up again and to build up these goals for yourself again. And I think your default as a personality, it's usually, go with the flow, let's just see what happens, whatever, all that kind of thing. Because you're a real free spirit at heart, not spree spirit. Free spirit at heart. That's how you are. You're a free spirit. You're kind of, let's see what happens. Let's enjoy our time. Let's not be too rigid. Let's not plan too many things. And I think because of what happened to you and because of the way you've been treated, you've had to harden yourself up again. You've had to be a bit more rigid than you were. And, I think you'll eventually come back to somewhere in the middle of the two extremes. But you'll always take some of these lessons with you that you've learned. And, you'll end up with the best of everything. You'll end up back with this free, beautiful, free-flowing nature that's yours. Plus, you'll have this sense of protection around yourself as well. So you have the best of both in the end. And with this goal, what this card's showing me is you'll get there. You will get there. Look at these wands. They're all heading toward the same direction. Nothing's stopping them. Nothing's in the way. There's nothing in the sky. No birds, clouds. There's nothing there. So you'll get to where you want to go and nothing will stop you. I'm actually seeing a location change. I'm just looking at all this growth on these wands, all these leaves and everything. And I'm getting this really strongly, this feeling of, I need to move. I can't do what I want to do here. I'm in this atmosphere. It's not good for my growth. That's what I'm getting. And I think where you are it's fine for now. It's okay. It's not unbearable. But I think you can't grow as much as you should be while you're where you are. So it feels as if you can't reach your full potential where you are. You need to move to somewhere else. That's what I'm getting there. So, and I think that might be part of what you're working towards, literally being able to go to a new location and work and grow and just be able to be yourself and flourish in that new location. And that's what this is showing you. You can do this. This is about travel. This is about movement. So you can do that if that's what you want to do. The other thing about this card is there aren't any people in this card. So if you'd had stayed in that relationship, you would never have been even dreamed of doing this traveling or this moving, because they were your focus, they were your dream when you're with them. They were your whole life. And now you're your focus, and where you want to go is your focus, and what you want is your focus. It's like you're the focus of your dream now, not them. This is really, really beautiful, and I can see this really clearly. It's like you had to get out of all that to be able to be yourself and know where your focus was and know where you wanted to be. And now you know that, and that's what you're moving toward. So that's what I'm seeing. Very, very nice change. Very, very nice. I really like that. So the next card you have your presence, the King of Cups. Yes. So, okay, so this is, firstly, I'm seeing a few things here. So yeah, a similar thing as well. You know, you've had to put all your emotions outside of yourself and just sit on your own, you know, in your little island, like this king. He's on his own little island, and all the water's kind of going on around him, all the emotions around him, but he's not focused on that. He's focused on himself. He's keeping himself steady. You know, the water's going up and down, it's all wavy, and he's just on his own little island, and he's not moving or reacting to that. And so it really feels like you're making a really big effort to try and ignore all that, ignore how you're feeling, because you're still healing, you're getting over this, but you're like, no, I don't want to deal with that. I want to focus on my goals, and I'm determined to do that. There's still a bit of hurt there, you know, because this person had a big impact on your life. I can see that, but you're trying to ignore that. And I keep on getting this, oh, it could have been so perfect, could have been so perfect, all that kind of thing. But I think you know objectively that they weren't perfect. They were more like the person in the Seven of Swords. So they're coming up as them. So, you know, I think it's a matter of just a matter of your heart really catching up with what's in your head. Because what's in your head is, I know they were like the Seven of Swords. I'm not going back to that again. But your heart might have been, oh, you know, it could have been this, it could have been that. So, and that's all part of the healing process. But you're trying to get yourself away from all of those feelings. That's what I'm getting, and focus on these goals. And okay, yes, I'll just tell you. I'll just tell you what I'm seeing here as well. Something else here. Okay, there's a bit of danger here. Not real danger. You're not in physical danger. I don't want to worry. I'm not seeing that. But there's a little message here. If you look at this king, his front foot's just pointing down. I'll just move this so you can see his foot and everything there. So there he is there. So his foot's pointing down just at the front there. And it's just slightly pointed down. It looks as if he's just about to tip his toe into the water. It's like, let's dip my toe into the water to see what the temperature is. And I think that's what this message is about. I'm seeing a message coming in for you. It's from this person. It's from this ex-love connection, this horrible Seven of Swords person. And I'd love to be able to tell you there's this big apology coming up. They've really changed and all of that. But I'm not seeing that. I'm getting this really carefully crafted message that's coming for you, and it actually feels a bit cold. That's how it feels to me, like a cold message, because the King of Cups can be a bit cold actually. You know, he doesn't show his emotions, and I'm going to be 100% honest here. This isn't a message about love. It's a message about something else. It might be hidden in a love message or in love language or something like that. But it looks like they might be edging their way over to ask you some kind of favour or something like that. So he's dipping his toe in the water. He's thinking, let's just see how they react to this message, and then I'll see if I can ask them more things. So that's what I'm getting. So, watch out for that. It's really dodgy. It's not nice at all, because they're coming up as the Seven of Swords and the King of Cups. So you've got to watch out for that. I just feel as if I have to warn you, because, if someone's coming up as the Seven of Swords and they come back to you again with this kind of cold message, obviously that doesn't look good. And I'm getting this slightly vulnerable energy coming from you as well, because you're healing, you're getting over this. And, of course, it's up to you as to what you do about this message. But I am getting warnings here, so I have to tell you that. It does feel like a big warning. And it feels like a progression. It's like they're starting to dip their toe in the water. They're asking you this, and then they're going to send you more messages with, oh, can you help me with this? It's going to end up a bit like that. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so I'll move that up again because I'm going to talk about this now, which is the Queen of Swords. So yeah, I'm really, really glad to see this here actually, because this is showing me you're not just going to sit down and listen to this message and do whatever they say. And yeah, I'm just looking at the Seven of Swords again. Yeah, it feels like they just see you as, or they think of you as someone who's a little bit passive maybe, or someone who just sits there and let things happen to them. And, you know, I think sometimes people can misjudge you a bit because you can come across as being quite easygoing, a bit laid back. And I think sometimes people think, oh, you'll just put up with things. They'll just put up with this. I can do this. I can do that. They won't mind. You're actually a really strong person, though. And I think they've seen a little bit of that strong side of you before, this ex. But they've got a big shock coming up, actually, because this is about you standing up for yourself. And I think when you went through the separation, I think you kind of drifted out of this. It feels like it wasn't quite finished or something like that. Maybe there was ghosting here. Maybe someone was ghosted. Something wasn't quite resolved. And, you know, I think if you had have said something last time, which I don't think you got to say, you didn't get to have your say, but you wouldn't have been in the right frame of mind to have your say properly last time. That's what I'm getting. So it was all unresolved the last time. And I think when they come back to you again, this time, you'll be standing up for yourself. And it's not just you that you're standing up for. It's your whole identity and your whole future and your plans and your goals. And I think they're going to be in shock. They're going to be in big shock when you start standing up for yourself, actually. This final no, you're going to be like, no, 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 no. Ask me this, give me this message, ask me whatever you want. The answer is no. That's what I'm seeing. Absolutely no. And when you say no, that's going to push you mentally and emotionally to really letting go of this whole thing now and really just focusing on your own goals. Because if you look at this card, she's obviously really stern. That's what this Queen's like. She's really stern. She's really serious. And she's protecting herself, and she's giving herself freedom by protecting herself. Because there are butterflies and birds and everything all over this card. And obviously that's about freedom. And I was seeing travelling in the Eight of Wands as well. And butterflies and birds obviously travel through the sky. So that's another sign that you're going to be able to travel to this new location if that's what you want to do. So I'm seeing all of that in that as well. Excuse me. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, so the first card you have for your future is Judgment. Okay, this is interesting because sometimes this can be about looking back over your life. It can be about regrets, apologies sometimes. And I've seen this kind of cold message. And by cold, I don't necessarily mean it feels cold or it's going to feel or sound cold to you when you get this. I don't think it will actually. I think it might sound quite friendly. But the intention of it's cold, the intention's cold. There's a message that's hiding another intention. That's what I'm seeing. It feels quite calculated. And yeah, it's designed to make you feel a certain way so that you're open to doing what they want. That's what I'm seeing. But you know, I think at one time you might have been open to this, but not now. Not now. You're not in that mode anymore. You're not in that romantic mode. You're not in that, oh, I used to know them when I was young and they've come back again. It's so romantic. You're not like that anymore. You're the Queen of Swords now. You are the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords says no. She says no. And, you know, if the Queen of Cups was here, if you had the pair of them, the King and the Queen of Cups together, that would be a sign that you might get back together again. But that's not what's here. And yeah, just like this big, big trumpet here, I think it's just going to be really, really clear to you now that there's absolutely no going back. You know, the Judgment card can be about huge changes in your life, huge shift. The trumpet sounds, it's really obvious, you know it's there, and it's like, no, that's it, I can't go back again. I'm moving forwards now. So getting this message, I think that's going to be like a big trumpet to you. It's going to be like, okay, attention on that. That's a big turning point. I'm moving forward now. And I think you already knew in your heart that this wasn't right, obviously, because they're the Seven of Swords. They're the man in the Seven of Swords. And, you know, you've been healing from that. But this is going to be, it's sort of going to be like the full stop at the end of the sentence for you. It's like, no, that's it. I'm moving on now. So, yeah, that's what I'm seeing now. It's not going, this message is not going to have the effect they wanted at all. They wanted the opposite. So, okay, so the next card you have, you features the Hermit. Okay, so I'm going to talk about these two cards together. So what they're telling me is these two cards is, yeah, you're going to completely distance yourself from them, totally be by yourself. When this judgment happens, when the trumpet sounds, it's like, no, that's it. I'm not answering them. I'm going to say no. I'm having my say, and then I'm going on my way. I'm going to be by myself. And you know what you have to say, it's going to be loud and clear, just like the trumpet in the judgment card. And you're just not interested anymore. You've just, you know, you've been fooled once by the Seven of Swords, and you're not going to be fooled again. I have to tell you, I don't think they're going to give up right away. I think they're probably going to keep on trying a little bit, but in a low-key way. I'm seeing more messages coming in, because sometimes the Two of Pentacles can be about slow messages, little messages going backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. So they're going to keep on trying, I think. And I don't know if this is the case, but just have a think about this. It might be this as well. It might be that they're having financial problems, because that's what this card can be about as well, the Two of Pentacles. And I was seeing some kind of financial issues between you and them in the Ten of Pentacles. So it might be that. That might be the favour they're gearing up to ask you. I don't know. Just something to keep in mind. They might be asking for money. So, but yeah, you're going to have your say really, really clearly. And they're going to keep on trying for a while. That's what I'm seeing here. But you're not going to be listening. You're going to be like this Hermit, focused on yourself, focused on your goals, focusing on this star. And that star, which is your goal, that's going to lead you away from them and into the right direction now.